Hi and welcome to this video on how to get free traffic to your website. And in reality, website traffic is almost never free. You either pay directly for the click or you spend some time doing something that generates clicks. But ignoring the fact that it costs you time to get the free traffic, I'm going to talk about some methods that can help generate free traffic to your website. Usually that involves some kind of content that includes a link either directly or indirectly to your website. And depending on the type of link and the site it's placed on, the free traffic may be almost instant, or it may take a while to work its way through the system. The amount of traffic you get and the quality of that traffic will vary considerably, so you're going to need to test. But as a general rule, large quantities of traffic are usually relatively untargeted, and the clicks to your site are generally worth less, not worthless, but worth less than the fewer but better targeted clicks. Now, short-term traffic, and that's sites like Twitter and Facebook, are usually short-term, and sure, your tweets can get retweeted or your posts can get shared, but most of the time the effect on the traffic is short-lived. And that's okay, because it doesn't take long to compose a tweet or put up a post on Facebook pointing to something bigger. Over time, you'll build up followers on those platforms, and they'll be more likely to see your future posts, although obviously Facebook, their algorithm varies a bit, and Twitter, it depends on time of day, otherwise it just falls off what's effectively a conveyor belt. It helps to include hashtags with your tweets and your Facebook posts to help other people to find them. Some people actually search for hashtags, so including them works nicely, and that includes owners of newsletters and online sites who are constantly looking for relevant content to include on their own site. And I've had quite a few of my tweets found by that kind of site, and over time the traffic builds up. It's always small, it's a bit like a dripping tap. It takes a while for anything to fill up, but it does happen. And much like paid-for traffic, short-term traffic dries up soon after you've posted it, which means that you have to continually come up with new things to entice visitors back to your website. And obviously you could also create some kind of giveaway product to encourage at least some of your visitors to join your list and stay in touch with you. And that's a good idea of pretty much regardless of how you generate traffic to your website. And a giveaway product can be very simple. It can be a short video like this one that you exchange for an email address. It can be a short ebook. Your choice, really. Keep it relatively short, relatively simple, because people are time pressured. Moving on now to medium and long-term traffic, and most other traffic generation methods tend to be anyway medium to long-term. Often you won't know ahead of time how long you'll get clicks from a link you've created, and that's partly because you won't know how long a topic will stay popular, and partly because you don't know how long a third-party site will stay around in the first place. And also you haven't got a clue what Google's algorithm is going to do. That works for everything. Even popular forums can stop. An active UK forum I was a member of a few years ago changed ownership, and that's not uncommon. It's not particularly easy to monetize a forum, and when it stopped, all the posts went when the domain wasn't renewed. In the self-help world, Steve Pavlina closed down his forum near the start of this decade and put up quite a long post explaining why. In a nutshell, it was more trouble than it's worth. My gut reaction on forums, they'll stay for quite some time, but their popularity is waning, and I think that's going to continue to wane as other ways of interacting with people take over, methods such as Twitter, Facebook, and even Skype groups. They're kind of more interactive, more immediate than a forum where you put something up and hope someone's going to reply, whereas Twitter, Facebook, Skype, chances are they will. And that means you shouldn't rely on just one method of generating your free traffic. Content on your own site, one where you own the domain name and hosting, is still the best traffic generation method in my mind. And all other traffic generation methods, I think, should support that. So tweets, putting up a post on Facebook and so on should all point back to your site and effectively encourage Google to index it and higher. The content on your site should typically be fairly long and detailed, and that's getting increasingly the case. It's 2,000 words upwards is kind of recommended now, which is quite a scary figure. And that's probably not what you'd like me to say, but it's the best way to weave in the long tail keywords that will be responsible for most of the traffic you get via Google and the other search engines. And you can help tip the balance in your favour by making sure to set your page titles, headlines and meta descriptions so they're also in your favour. It's basic on-site SEO, and there are plenty of articles on the web to help you, but take most of them with a pinch of salt, as not all free advice is good advice. After content on your own site, and that should always be a top priority. Other popular sites are a good way to generate extra free traffic. YouTube is one of those sites, and yeah, it can generate clicks, as this video hopefully proves. As with everything else, it depends on the topic, and there's no direct correlation between a highly viewed video and traffic generated to your site. That goes for any kind of video. For instance, one of my videos on YouTube shows how to create links in the video description that point to specific times in the video. Basically, you just put a time in minutes and seconds with those separated by a colon. It gets a lot of views, but most people don't click through to my site from it because they've already got the information they need from the video, and quite a few of the comments, they've tested whether it works in one of the many comments that get added to the video. It's got lots of test and then 2 minutes 30 or whatever it happens to be. So the video is good for the overall strength of my channel, but it doesn't directly help my site. Very, very few click-throughs from that video. Indirectly, obviously it helps my YouTube channel. It probably also helps my other videos come slightly higher up in the results, so I probably get a few more clicks than I otherwise would have done, but without knowing the ins and outs of the various ranking algorithms, I'll never know that for certain. And even if I did, it could change tomorrow or today. So tend not to sweat on that too much if I can help it. And that makes this kind of weird, slightly weird how-to video, because things on the web are rarely black and white. They've got more shades of grey than a popular novel, and in turn that means you need to experiment and figure out what works best for you. Just because someone else claims to have made money, usually a very specific figure in a very specific short period of time, that's almost always the headline. You're supposed to write headlines with go right the way down to the number of cents and X number of hours or days plus hours, because apparently that's more believable. But just because it says it doesn't mean that you'll be able to replicate that success or even come close to it. And even if you manage to do something that generates a lot of good quality free traffic, there's no guarantee you can replicate what you've done, let alone what someone else has done. Often it's just a combination of a specific set of circumstances that combine to create the result. Equally, that doesn't mean you can't do something close to average results for most things you do. And the time you spend creating content in the hope of getting free traffic is your choice. Personally, I'd suggest an hour a day most days is a good use of your time. If you can spend more, great. But an hour's a good target, even if that's split into sort of 15-20 minute chunks. As you grow, you can delegate or outsource that work. But by that stage, you'll know what works most of the time and what doesn't, and what's hit and miss and almost pure fluke. And if you'd like help with getting more free traffic to your website and getting money from those visitors once they reach your site, affiliate marketing is one of the best ways to start. It's relatively straightforward and relatively quick. Two things that don't always seem to be the case in a lot of internet marketing. And of course you'll need to put in some effort, but unless you're the type of person who believes you'll win the lottery or that there really is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, I hope you already understand that. And if not, either going to have to start understanding it or play the lottery more often, maybe. I don't know. Resources, some are linked below this video. Just click the links below. Obviously you can't click them in this video because that doesn't work this way, but I've got quite a few resources on my site and I've linked to a few of them below, which you can get help creating your own content, creating free content, getting free content, creating videos like this one, and as I said earlier, affiliate marketing, which is definitely one of the quickest ways to start your internet marketing. So hope you've enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment and feel free to check out some of the links below. Thanks very much for watching.